Gentlemen and female gentlemen, fantastic news, sort of, I guess. There is a very probably not permanent ceasefire in Israel. We take those. Anyway, Asmund Gold made a video. Trump just ended the war in Israel, which is a very funny title, being that Trump is not the president, and also that the war has not ended. So it's one of those good titles on YouTube, I do have to say, but everyone on Twitter is going completely crazy over this entire situation, and I am here to shed my light and spread my butt on the entire incident, all right? I am very excited to share everything that I have to say, but mostly, the reason why I find this very funny is because this big thing happens in the world, all right? Big ceasefire. Hopefully a lot of hostages get released and stuff like that. All right, all this stuff, that's pretty dope, sure. And people on Twitter are literally just sitting there arguing, flinging poop at each other. Who gets credit? Is it Trump or is it Biden? Now, I personally think this is very funny because ultimately, who gives a flying butthole? And the answer is this guy, because it means people are going to be offended by my opinions, which is why I have them. So anyway, I think it's very important to note that Biden gave a speech over here talking about how thanks to him. Thanks to Biden, that it was released. So this is a speech from Biden today. Then I'm going to show you a little speech from Trump last week. This is going to be very funny. I hope you're excited, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Who gets credit for this, Mr. President?
Right, the question the reporter asks, who gets credit for this, Mr. President? Valid question, I would think.
You or Trump?
You or Trump?
Is that a joke?
Oh, Dark Brandon returns fire at the reporter.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. Anyway, he basically takes credit for it. I mean, he is the president. He obviously is going to take credit for it. That makes a lot of sense. But this is a certain speech Trump gave last week.
Hostages aren't back. I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time...
He's talking about the Israeli hostages that have been held by Hamas for like the last year and a half, by the way. That's who he's talking about.
I get into office,
All right, if they're not released by the time he gets into office...
all hell will break out in the Middle East. And it will not be good for Hamas. And it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is.
Yeah, so anyway, 5 days before this guy goes into office, suddenly, wow, they're willing to do a ceasefire. Now, I wonder who could possibly be the one involved. Is it the person that was in power for the last year and a half? Dark Brandon himself? Or maybe, is it the orange madman jutsu that is actually the one that is moving the playing field? I'm just saying, I'm not trying to give my opinion here or anything, but I do have a lot of incredibly funny things to show to the world. So, as you can see over here, there is a tweet. There is a statement that has been made by President Biden. Today, after many months of intensive diplomacy by the United States, along with Egypt and Qatar, Israel and Hamas have reached a ceasefire and hostage deal. My diplomacy never ceased in their efforts to get this done. I will speak more about this soon. So anyway, this is Joe Biden taking credit, as it's very funny. Again, dude, I'm literally here for the shits and giggles, all right? If you are here for world news, you're in the wrong place. You are here you are presenting in a dishonest way, Nux. That is a valid opinion. It's a wrong opinion, but it's a valid one. Are you ready for a brave and stunning statement? All right, so Prime Minister of Israel, this is Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke this evening with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump and thanked him for his assistance in advancing the release of the hostages and helping Israel bring the end to the suffering of dozens of hostages and their families. Biden, I got the Israel-Hamas deal done. Netanyahu, thank you, Trump, for getting this deal done. Oh, the pain. Oh, Lord, the womp moment is real. Yeah, anyway, I just think that's a very funny situation. People are losing it. All right, so Trump makes a message here. We have a deal for the hostages in the Middle East. They will be released shortly. Thank you. Right? You know, Trump gives his speech. He's probably waving his arms a little bit here and there. And everyone's like, we know. The president told us. Meaning it's like, obviously, it's Biden that did it. Trump has no shame. He will try to take credit from anyone. He's not a bit particular in who he steals it from. In this case, it is Biden. Yeah, sure. Biden deserves the credit, right? All the wars in the world, they happen to start during Biden's term. Coincidence, probably. But they all happen to start during Biden's term. Biden was president for the last year and a half, where literally nothing moved in the negotiations. And then Trump makes a statement saying that when I come into office, there will be hell to pay if you don't release it. And Biden people are like, talk about trying to take the credit for something Trump had nothing whatsoever to do with. All right, it's pretty great. I'm just saying, it's even funnier, actually, because over here, Biden's own State Department gives credit to Trump for the Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal an hour after Biden gave the credit to himself. Oh, the chaos is glue. It's good. It's good. Chat, subscribe for more chaos. Anyway, let's watch this little speech that this guy gives. This is, by the way, this is Biden's man, all right? This is Biden's administration, dude. The cucking gets better.
When it comes to the involvement of President-elect Trump's team, it has been absolutely critical in getting this deal over the line.
Oh, really?
And it's been critical because, obviously, as I stand here today, this administration's term in office will expire in 5 days. And one of the things that we have always said about this deal is that when you get from stage 1 to stage 2, that the United States, Egypt, and Qatar are the guarantors of
Bro called Qatar Qatar. Why are we listening to this man? I'm sorry.
this deal. And
It's like when you're watching an anime YouTuber talk about Naruto and you immediately want to murder him.
Egypt and Qatar
Stop calling it Qatar. Sorry.
will push Hamas to stay at the bargaining table and to get from stage 1 to stage 2. And the United States will push Israel to stay at the bargaining table to get from phase 1 and phase 2. So obviously those are promises we cannot make on behalf of the United States for any longer than the next 5 days. And so it's critical that all of the parties to the agreement and the other mediators see that when the United States is in the room making commitments, those are lasting commitments that extend beyond this administration into the next one. I would just say, lastly,
He has one more thing to say. It's probably not that important, but we'll listen anyway. Damn, people in chat got real silent the moment I showed these clips. Damn.
I don't know if it's unprecedented to have envoys from an outgoing and an incoming administration sitting at the same table negotiating a ceasefire agreement of this kind.
Pretty weird that Trump has people.
But if it's not unprecedented, it's certainly unusual.
It is unusual indeed. Was it good or was it bad that Trump got himself involved in this situation?
And we, of course, thank the Trump team for
Wait, the Biden person is thanking the Trump team.
working with this on this ceasefire agreement. We think it's important that they were at
Oh,
the
it was important. They were important in these negotiations. I thought he wasn't the president.
table.
Yikes! It's a bit of a yikes situation, ladies and gentlemen. I do have to say, I find this very funny. See, again, I am coming from the perspective of someone that actually is in Israel a lot, okay? For various reasons. And, bro, from my perspective, it was Trump, okay? The moment Trump made his statement saying that there was gonna be hell to pay, the moment he said there was gonna be hell to pay, when if he gets into office and nothing happens, then 5 days before he gets into office something happens, the entire discussion shifted. Okay, this was a massive moment. At least from my perspective. I could be completely wrong. Whereas Biden really didn't do anything that pushed the needle towards any form of peace treaty or ceasefire at all over the last year and a half. Like, it is important to note that, and again, this might be a controversial opinion, there are many American hostages that are taken by Hamas. Also, the fact that, a statement, again, it takes an orange man like Trump to make a statement like that. Like, it is wild that Trump sits there making threats and stuff. But you know what? People are scared of a madman. I'm just saying. Anyway, so Asmongold covered this, and apparently got a lot of things wrong, I was told in this video, so I have no idea what this is actually about. I didn't see it. The only thing I like about this is the title. So far, the title is fire. Trump, I don't know. Ended the war? I don't know about that either. So anyway, this is gonna be great. All right, let's go. Let's see what Bald Man has to say about it. For me, it's the drama. I love the drama. I love the chaos. I love the insanity, and I also love the idea that hopefully less innocent people will be hurt, because ultimately that's hopefully the goal of everyone.
This literally just happened an hour ago. Bro said this ceasefire is epic.
No, Trump tweeted the epic ceasefire agreement. It's so big, it's so epic, it's so huge. They died like dogs, beautiful dogs. The epic ceasefire could have only happened as a result of a historic victory in November. It has signaled to the entire world that my administration would seek peace and negotiate deals that ensure the safety of all Americans and our allies. I am thrilled Americans and Israeli hostages will be returning home to be reunited with their families and loved ones. Let's go. I'm just gonna be real here. This is a Trump W. All right, anyone that wants, but Trump's not even the president yet, bro. The actual president's teams, his own team, credited Trump. That's insane, dude. The fact that Netanyahu thanked Trump for this is so fucking funny. It's so funny. Subscribe for more laughs and comedy, because that's what we do here among shitting on idiots. Bro's not even in office yet.
Yes, he did. Okay, let's watch it.
Let's go.
This is a massive deal, weeks in the making.
This is a massive deal. Agreed.
It certainly is, if not longer, Pam.
Probably years.
We have been waiting for more.
Weeks in the making. Bro, why is this only weeks in the making? Biden, you were president for the last year and a half. Why was this weeks in the making? Huh? I would have thought you would have said, 15 months in the making.
More than 13 months
Yeah.
since the last ceasefire deal, and since the last time there was an
it's just
exchange
over
of
a year.
hostages and prisoners for this moment. It appears that this deal is imminent, if not done already. We're reporting
right.
that Hamas has agreed to the deal. There was certainly an expectation from the Israeli side that they would agree to a deal. All of this, of course.
Recap. I love how people keep asking me for recaps, bro. This isn't Warhammer 40K lore, okay? The recap is 3,000 years ago, when King Solomon built the temple. What do you want me to tell you? What am I supposed to tell you? How far back am I supposed to go? Huh? This is the oldest beef in history of the world, okay?
It's brokered after intensive negotiations with the mediators, the United States, Qatar, and Egypt. So this is obviously extremely welcome news after...
This is great.
Damn, bro hitting with the hard-hitting opinions. Crazy opinion he's dropping right here.
I mean, this is actually such a good thing.
Really?
I think people have wanted. I mean, like, really, this is amazing.
Okay. Hard-hitting, riveting comment. This is why Asmongold is the greatest political commentator of all time. Yes. Innocent people not dying? Dub. We take those. Positive thing.
I mean, whether it was Biden or Trump or whoever, this
True.
is a great thing.
Facts. That's how I prefaced also. It really doesn't matter who gets credit, but I am very much enjoying the meltdowns. We could do both here.
14 months of fighting, and what we expect to happen, if indeed this deal goes into effect, is that over the course of some 6 weeks, we would see more than 30 Israeli hostages released by Hamas and other groups who are holding them in Gaza.
That would be unbelievably huge. That would be freaking awesome. By the lowest. Oh my god, I feel so bad for these people, because these are like civilians, right? These hostages, they're civilians that were kidnapped like over a year ago. Who knows what their living conditions are? Like, holy shit.
Trump 100%. How is it Trump logically?
It was Trump. I could be totally wrong. Maybe Netanyahu thanked Trump.
I don't know. So I don't really know if this is true or not because I don't have enough information about it. But the people that are probably going to say that it's because of Trump would probably use the example. I think that there were hostages with Jimmy Carter. And then when Reagan won the election, the hostages were immediately returned. So people are probably going to...
I don't even think you need historical precedent for something like this. Dude, they were trying to find some sort of way to get these hostages back for the last 14 months. That is... I think people don't realize that is kind of why this war is still going on. The only reason why, at least... I could be totally wrong because I'm geopolitically illiterate. All right? I am a freaking stupid blue man on the internet. All right? Don't take anything I'm saying seriously. There were hundreds of hostages that were captured over a year ago, and that most of this war is just trying to get them back. Again, who knows?
Liken this situation to the time with Reagan and Jimmy Carter, and I think that they're going to think that basically Trump is going to come in there and they're worried about just getting completely carpet bombed and just getting annihilated, because I think that there's a good chance Trump would probably do that.
That's the thing. People are terrified of Trump. Dude, again, you have to realize, think about it just timing-wise, all right? Listen, Biden's been in power for the last 14 months, okay? It has literally been around for 14 months of conflict with hostages, including American citizens that were captured, okay? Like, I'm just... Facts on the ground. That's what happened, okay? Bro, dude, that's what happened. 5 days before Trump comes in, after Trump gives a threat that it needs to be done before he comes in, it happens. Like, dude, this isn't chess, okay? This is tic-tac-toe.
So that's, like, I mean, is that the reason why this happened? It's impossible to know that. But I do think that the people that are, like leading Hamas, I do think that they're worried about that.
They're terrified,
Absolutely.
Bro. Oh, God, dude, everyone's scared of Trump. Because, like, here's the thing. A madman is not predictable. Bro's intimidation check has passed.
I mean, like, I would be fucking, like, if you were Hamas, wouldn't you be fucking terrified
Oh,
of that?
Lord. Bro, dude. Dude, can you imagine, like, Biden has been, he keeps talking about like de-escalation and stuff like that. Dude, but Trump is not the de-escalation guy. He isn't. He's like, you are terrorists, scum, annihilate them all. Who cares? Like, bro, you don't know what this man is gonna do.
Like, yeah,
They're
I would
shitting
be,
themselves.
absolutely.
True.
I think we had the exact number of Palestinian prisoners who would be released by Israel, and then there are a bunch of other different elements that would go into effect. Palestinians would be allowed to go home in the Gaza Strip. More humanitarian aid would get to go in. But I think the point here, Pam, is that after weeks of feverish work on the U.S. side with both Biden administration officials and officials from the incoming Trump team working in coordination with each other, they and the other mediators have met.
What's a more likely peace deal? I'm not trying to make any beef here. I'm just asking. What's more likely? Israel and Palestinians getting along, or Trump and Biden administrations getting along? Listen, let me know in the comments section below.
Managed to get the Israelis and Hamas, it appears, across the finish line, where we are going to get a truce, a pause in this fighting. One thing I really want to emphasize is this does not mean the end of this war.
Yeah, that's the ultimate difference is this is a ceasefire. That's why I love the Asmongold thing over here. Trump ended the war. I mean, yeah, sure. Trump just caused world peace that will not end. True.
This means a break in this war.
Yeah, I think that
everyone
everybody knows that.
Yeah, everybody knows. I think anyone reasonable knows this. Like, it's obviously a good thing. Hopefully, hostages will come home and more humanitarian aid will go to people in need and stuff like that. But, bro, end to the war. I don't know, bro.
This break will last at least 6 weeks, if not longer. Hopefully, all
Jesus.
of these.
Oh, they're hoping for 6 weeks. That's the hope. We're hoping 6 weeks.
Christ, how fucking bleak.
Yeah.
Hopefully
chaos.
this break in the war lasts for at least 6 weeks.
Listen, Lord Nuxanor himself, I've been in Israel for so many wars, just like by coincidence. Like, bro, it's not even funny. The amount of times I've had to run to bomb shelters are insane.
It's like 2 months.
The guy says 6 weeks, and Asmongold's like, that's like 2 months!
Oh my God.
People will come home who are supposed to come home, but there are big questions about what would happen after this first phase of a ceasefire, which
who knows, honestly.
As it stands now, and this plan has been in place for quite some time since President Biden laid it out in May, this is expected to...
Somebody says, especially after Pisa said in his confirmation that he wants to kill every member of Hamas. Yeah, I mean,
Hamas are terrorists, right? Like, this is not... It is understandable. It is a normal perspective, bro. It is a pretty normal perspective. Like, these people are terrorists. Like, fighters and shit like that.
It's impossible to know whether that was a factor, and I think that it's unfair to say that it definitely was. But I would tell you this, that if I was in charge of Hamas and I saw these two crazy fucks that are about to be in charge, and they have nuclear weapons and like fucking, faster than the speed of sound jets.
I mean, the nuclear weapons thing is kind of irrelevant because Israel has nuclear weapons. Obviously, they're never going to use them on Gaza, but that is not necessarily the argument. I think the fear is that Trump will literally just sit there and be like, de-escalation is not a word in my vocabulary, and it'll be like, oh. USA has more nukes? Bro, Gaza is really small. You do not need many nukes, okay? I'm just saying. Dude, if Israel nuked Gaza, they would cook themselves in the fallout. Like, it's not happening.
And infinite bombs that are saying that we're going to kill every single one of you, I would be more willing to negotiate.
Damn.
I absolutely would.
And I think that is the case. Trump is very scary because no one knows what he's going to do. And because of that, I think everyone is going to be more willing to negotiate.
Last around 6 weeks. So we're still waiting for final word, I believe, from all of the parties, but this certainly seems imminent, if not a done deal already.
I want to go back to MJ Lee at the White House. I believe we're reconnected. MJ, what can you tell us about this plan?
Well, Pam, according to a senior administration official telling CNN, it is done, it is confirmed, meaning that Hamas has given that final green light, agreeing to the ceasefire and hostages release deal that had been on the table for a while, and based on...
Dude, so many of these casualties could have been avoided if Hamas would have just given back the hostages immediately. Like, this is insane, bro. God. The fact that it took all of this for this to finally happen.
all of our reporting, we knew that this really was the final step that all of the parties were waiting for, that it really came down to this group agreeing to the parameters that everybody else had agreed to. Part of the reason we have been so cautious in our reporting all of this time is precisely that, that in the end, it came down to Hamas giving this final green light. And when we have spoken to at least...
Just gotta wait. We had to wait for the Hamas green light. Bro, but meanwhile, they had, like, actual, hostages, like, civilian hostages. Like, it's insane.
U.S. officials...
It's so gross and disgusting. It's like, I personally... Okay, whatever. I don't want to get into personal, anecdotal situations, but I have lost a family member in this situation, and it's so gross. Like, the whole thing is, like, so disgusting. What's the deal? What did they get? I think Israel released a bunch of, like, prisoners, like, terrorists for them.
Involved in these discussions, and with knowledge of the situation, they always pointed to the fact that it was impossible to make any kind of predictions with certainty, because at the end of the day, they were dealing with Hamas. But again, here we have it, confirmation from a senior administration official that Hamas has finally given the green light, and there is a deal for a ceasefire in Gaza,
let's go.
and for the hostages to be released.
Crazy that they... I feel so bad for these hostages and their families. Like, dude, imagine. Holy shit.
This is a deal, as you were talking about just now with Alex, that has been elusive for the Biden administration and for the U.S.
Ooh, this is CNN talking, okay? I just wanted you to know. This is CNN talking. Are you aware? All right? CNN, Trump hater extraordinaire, is glazing Trump. I'm just saying.
For so many months. We had that initial...
Didn't Netanyahu literally reject a hostage deal before? Yeah, he did, I think. I'm pretty sure he did. No, but the issue is, they're really scared. The thing is, the don't negotiate with terrorists thing is wild. It's wild. Someone said, I lost a brother and several family members and friends. This is so sad. Yeah, no, it's sad. It's just awful.
Ceasefire.
That's crazy.
Back more than a year ago, around things.
He definitely was. Look, I am no politician. I don't know what's going on here. I think Netanyahu... I have a myriad complaints about Netanyahu. All right, listen, we ain't going down this rabbit hole. But step one, bro never took accountability for the fact that October 7th happened. Right? I don't think. At least not that I have seen. But anyway.
Two Thanksgivings ago, when a number of hostages came out, that ceasefire ended up being temporary, only lasting a number of days.
15 months.
And really, since then, U.S. officials have been working to get a second
5 days before the 20th? Well, somebody said in chat, the innocent fears the cruel, and the cruel fears the madman.
True!
Yeah.
That is a based quote. What happened on October? It was... Oh, my God. Okay, so basically, this current war is happening because on October 7th, all right, 3,000 years of history and beef, okay? We're not going to talk about any of that because, let's be real, that's too complicated for a Nux stream. October 7th of 2023, 1,500-ish innocent civilians in Israel were murdered by Hamas terrorists that invaded the country and just murdered civilians, and also kidnapped like several hundred into Gaza. That is what kicked off this entire war. Okay, this war is based on that. That's the TLDR.
I mean, like, in my opinion, I'll say it. I think Trump's a fucking psychopath. I do.
Yeah!
I think that he would bomb them.
Dude, that's the thing. The thing about Trump is, I think everyone recognizes he's kooky. I'm just saying.
And he would not give a fuck about how many innocent people got killed or anything. He would legitimately fucking kill all of them. I think that's what he would do. And I think that they're worried, and I think they know that.
He would die like a dog, a beautiful dog. There was a lot of shooting. There was a lot of blasting. Bro, that's what I'm gonna come. And then he came.
And also, it's probably not a guarantee, but it's like, would you want to take the risk of that?
Yeah, no, that's what Trump said, actually. He actually told this. I heard him say this as an example. Like, he said to Putin, I'm gonna bomb the hell out of you if you don't stop the war. And Putin said something like, yeah, I don't think you're really gonna do that. And Trump's like, are you sure? Like, bro, that's the craziest thing. Oh, God.
Ooh, I wouldn't. I wouldn't at all.
Bruh.
That's an intellectually dishonest statement. Really? I mean, okay. I mean, that's what I think. I mean, if I were
I mean, everyone has the right to an opinion. I don't know if he's a diagnosable psychopath, but I do think it's scary how unpredictable he is. And I do think it's scary to know when he will, bro, wanted to take over Canada, bro. Who talks like this? We're gonna rename the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America, the Panama Canal. We're gonna buy it. We're gonna rename it the America Canal. We are going to buy Canada, combine it with the United States, and buy Mexico. And we'll call ourselves Bro, dude, this guy.
That's how I would look at it. Yeah. I mean, really, like that's how I would look at it. I mean, I'm not sure, like maybe it wouldn't happen that way. Maybe that's not how they see it, but that's just how I'd see it.
The ceasefire in place, but it had been so challenging. There were so many moments throughout the last year plus where we reported that things looked like they were maybe getting close, that we had reason for optimism based on our sources and our reporting. But even in these final days, you know, everybody we had talked to were so careful to almost not get their hopes up too much. I think we should.
Yeah. Somebody said too, hasn't he already promised to bomb them if they're not free by the time that he takes off?
Yeah, that's why it's happening, in my opinion. I could be wrong, obviously. I'm just some idiot, all right? But, bro, dude.
Office, he has. Yep.
Literally a week ago, or less. I think it was less than a week ago. He literally said, if by the time I am in office, if the peace deal was not negotiated, I think he said, I will bomb the hell out of you. All right, we could look at it. I have the quote literally here.
Aren't back. I don't
If they're not back,
want to hurt your
last week.
If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. And it will not be good for Hamas. It will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out.
Bro.
I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is.
Bro drops this, and then a week later it happens. 5 days before he gets into office. Let's be real here. Okay, listen, just for a second. Okay, why didn't it happen until now, but it happened now? Answer that question yourself.
That's exactly, yes, that is exactly what it was.
Oh, hell, we're break loose.
And, yeah, 5 days.
And Mexico will pay for my bombs. I'm sorry, I just love that he said that about the wall.
Before he takes office.
Coincidence!
And a good deal amount of time talking about Donald Trump and the incoming president's desire to get this done that had been really so decisive.
Ooh, she's literally CNN. This is CNN, okay? Yeah, we have to realize what we're watching right now. Okay, this is not Fox News saying that Trump did it. This is CNN saying that Trump did it. They don't give Trump credit for anything. Nothing. Even his glorious, glistening orange complexion.
In the end, and helping to get this across the finish line.
Certainly. And just for our viewers, just to remind you, in terms of the numbers, Hamas and its allies hold 94 people taken from Israel on October 7th, 2023.
This is after many got liberated and many were murdered over the last year, by the way. There's 94 left.
The majority are civilians. 34 are confirmed dead, but the number is almost certainly higher than that. 81 are men and 13 women, and there are 2 of 5. And if
it was not Hamas, but Israel who was forced to capitulate by Trump.
I think it was both.
I mean, good.
Yeah, it was both for
sure. I mean, yeah, I think that, yeah, good.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think it's more Hamas, but I do think also Netanyahu's definitely been dragging his feet to get to some sort of deal here. It was both.
Of course, there's going to be phases, as Alex had laid out.
Yeah, good either way. It doesn't matter. Like, it's good no matter how you get here.
The expected ceasefire. I want to go straight to Jeremy Diamond, who is on the ground there in Israel, to get the Israel part of this, because there's a process in Israel, right? Jeremy, walk us through that.
All right.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Pam. And first of all, I think it's important to note that for the last 2 days, the Israeli government officials who I've been speaking with have been saying this is in Hamas's hands. We need Hamas to say yes in order to get to a deal. And that is indeed what has now happened. And so for all intents and purposes, we do indeed now have an agreement between these parties to go into a ceasefire that is expected to last 6 weeks, during which you will see 33 Israeli hostages release, hundreds of Palestinian prisoners released from Israeli jails in exchange the much-needed entry of...
That's good. Yeah, because a lot of people don't know this, but apparently Israel had a lot of Palestinian hostages as well.
This is just not true. They have prisoners. They're not hostages. Wait, what? What did you say?
Release hundreds of Palestinian prisoners.
Palestinian prisoners. These are prisoners. These are like people that were terrorists that surrendered in war. That is, I don't think that's the same. That is not hostages. That's prisoners. Okay.
Released from Israeli jails in exchange the much-needed entry of...
That's good. Yeah, because a lot of people don't know this, but apparently Israel had a lot of Palestinian hostages as well.
Yeah, no, these are like combatants that were in lockup. These are not hostages. Israel doesn't actually, I think. I could be completely wrong, by the way. Maybe this is just the Jew brain rot that are strangleholding the industry. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not saying I don't know if all these people are criminals, but I'm pretty sure it's largely prisoners. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're not hostages. Even the CNN reporter guy didn't call them hostages.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's because they're prisoners.
Intense and yeah.
There's a big difference between criminals. Even his chat, even Asmongold's chat, bro. Prisoners, not hostages, prisoners. Yeah.
Humanitarian aid, but the process that now needs to happen here in Israel in order for this deal to actually become a reality, this agreement will now go from the Israeli Prime Minister. He will take this agreement before his security cabinet, which is a smaller group of his governing coalition, some of his top ministers primarily involved in security affairs. They will then give an up or down vote on this. If it is approved, it will then go to the full cabinet for approval, and only then will the Israeli government be able to officially sign off on this deal and begin marching towards implementation. There is one additional hurdle before implementation, and that is giving the individuals who were impacted by those Palestinian prisoners who will be released the opportunity to petition the Supreme Court.
Oh God! You see what he's saying? The Palestinian prisoners that are getting released right now have hurt people, and the victims of these people have the right to protest. That's what he's explaining right now.
Those Palestinian prisoners who will be released, the opportunity to petition the Supreme Court against their release. That is largely a formality. Yeah,
that's not going to happen, though. There's no way that's actually going to go through. Ultimately, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's basically whatever Netanyahu decides is going to be what happens, and that's kind of it.
The Israeli government has enormous leverage, and the Prime Minister in particular has enormous freedom to release those prisoners as
that's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, whatever Netanyahu decides happens, basically. Yeah.
Relates to security matters. So that will likely be a 24-hour period that will go by. And that likely takes us most likely to Sunday, which is what I've been told is the most likely date when this deal will actually be implemented on the ground. That will mean that we will see the first Israeli hostages in more than a year be released as part of a diplomatic agreement here for these hostages to come out of Gaza. You will see the release of Palestinian prisoners from Israeli jails. And in addition to that, of course, you will see Israeli jets, Israeli troops on the ground lower their weapons. And for the first time in over a year, you will finally see the guns be silenced here, and the people of Gaza will finally get a much-needed reprieve from the military assault that they have been undergoing over the last year.
Wow, that's insane, bro. Dude's not even in office yet. This is crazy.
All right, thank you so much, Jeremy. I want to go to CNN foreign policy reporter Barak Ravid. What can you tell us about this deal and when the Hamas...
I love how he says Barak. What? No, it's an Israeli name.
Hamas prisoners will be released. Those held...
Barak actually means lightning, so it's a pretty badass name. I'm just saying. Bro's name is Lightning, all right? Just do with that what you will.
Hostage, I should say, and the Palestinian prisoners as well. What more can you tell us about that?
So I think one of the most important things that our viewers need to know right now is that there are 7 Americans held by Hamas in Gaza. 2 of them are expected to be released in this initial phase of the hostage deal. One of them is U.S. citizen Keith Siegel. A video of him from captivity was aired a few months ago.
Oh boy!
He is in the list for this first phase. Yeah. Another U.S. citizen is.
I love how this dude is so media trained. It's crazy. He's on CNN, so he's talking about the American citizens getting released. Ultimately, it's so sad that there are innocent people in captivity altogether, everywhere, no matter what it is. Innocent people that are suffering through this war, which is so sad. 7 American citizens, I just want you to know, this is good.
Sagid Ekelchen, another U.S. citizen who is on the list of the 33 hostages expected to be released in this initial phase.
Yeah, I'm so happy that these people are actually finally going to be able to go home. It's crazy.
And I think what is very interesting is that this deal has been in the making for months. Since President Biden laid out his plan, his proposal last May, and U.S. Negotiators, Qatari negotiators.
Wonder why. If he laid out his proposal last May, I wonder why it's happening now in January, 5 days before Trump becomes president and a week after he made his threat. Interesting. Maybe it is Biden all along.
Egyptian negotiators, Israeli negotiators have been working on this for months. I think the breakthrough came when the deal with Hezbollah on the ceasefire in Lebanon happened. Because then Hamas in Gaza understood that it has been left alone.
Yeah, holy crap. True. I remember that for sure. That's crazy.
And that no one's coming to save them. And since...
Right, so for those of you that are unaware of like the basic logistics, Hamas is a terrorist group operating in Gaza, which is right south of Israel, and Hezbollah is a terrorist organization operating from Lebanon right north of Israel. So when they had a ceasefire, Hamas was like, oh shit, and definitely soiled their panties a little bit there. So yeah, that makes sense.
Then what I hear from Israeli news officials is since then they saw a change in how Hamas is negotiating this deal, and this is how we got to this point.
Well, there it is.
All right. Well, anyway, that guy definitely won the no blinking contest. So anyone that wants to go on a staring contest, note that this guy would kick your ass.
This deal,
great.
Hell yeah. Hopefully there could be a lot more extended peace. All right. Goal. Here's the goal. No more fighting. World peace. Thoughts, guys? Thoughts?
That's great. I mean, people are getting killed by this constantly. Hopefully it lasts as long as possible. Yeah, this legitimately, it's tragic this does not happen sooner. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I'm just glad that it's happening now.
Yeah.
Thank God, right? I mean, like, really. And, man, literally the same hostage deal, lying cunts. I'm not sure. I bet Trump wants all the credit for it.
Everyone wants the credit for it, which is, it ultimately doesn't matter. I know I started this entire video off talking about, like, the Twitter brain rot, and I do stand by everything that I said. I think it's incredibly funny, but ultimately, I really hope that everyone innocent stay safe, and I hope there could be a lasting peace forever, but realistically, just based on history, it's probably not gonna happen.
I think that it's because of Trump or not, based off of whether you like him or not.
I mean, maybe that's possible. It could be an internal bias for different people coming up with different conclusions, for sure.
I don't think that you can really define whether it was him that did it or not.
Except I think it was him.
I really don't think so.
I really don't think so. Meanwhile, his YouTube title. Dude, this is the greatest title on all of YouTube. This is the greatest title in the history of YouTube. Okay? He's like, I don't know if you could say it's Trump. He writes Trump. The war's not over. It's just on break. Ended the war. Bro, man is the GOAT. Dude.
So, like, it's not like there's going to be a way that Hamas is going to say with absolute honesty everything that went into making this decision. So this is going to be one of those situations where if you like Trump, this ceasefire happened because of Trump. And if you don't like Trump, this ceasefire happened, luckily, before Trump took office. So that's the way that I think that a lot of people are going to read this. And I think that they're going to make comparisons with the Jimmy Carter, Reagan thing with the hostages back. I think
I appreciate centrists a lot, as a centrist in some ways myself. This was Trump, okay? I'm just saying. Biden's own team and CNN is saying that Trump was instrumental, okay? Listen, don't trust the ally, but trust the enemy, bro. If the enemy's gonna give credit to this guy, then this guy deserves it. And the fact that Israel thanked Trump, read from that what you will. Maybe it's just Netanyahu trying to garner favor with Trump because he's the future president, so he's trying to glaze him. All right, dude. You're gonna get flamed in the comments just saying there's overwhelming evidence of innocent hostages? What? And no proof it's not about the hostages held by Hamas. I have no idea what you're talking about. Obviously, this is a war where a lot of innocent people on every instance and every side got hurt, and it's really sad, and I wish there would be no wars. So my incredibly hot take is war bad. Sorry about that. And also, if you flame me in the comments, just note, that's okay. Everyone has the right to disagree with me. I'm just some idiot out here.
In Iran back then.
He's talking about the captives in the Israeli prison. I mean, I have no idea the truth. All I know is that they are prisoners that are largely there for terrorism
in like the 1980s, or I think it was 1981, something like that, right? And so that's kind of what I'm expecting is going to happen. This
don't know. Anyway, crazy situation ultimately. Wild situation. Who knows? War bad, I guess. People are gonna find a way for sure to twist this into me supporting genocide or something, which is pretty great. Love those guys. Thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate you. Ultimately, my favorite part of this entire situation was the fact that innocent people are hopefully going to be okay and live and go home. That's, I think, ultimately the best part of all of this. But that all said and done, Biden, I got the Israel-Hamas deal done. Netanyahu, thank you, Trump, for getting this deal done. Stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.